Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to the show. Today you are in for a treat. I'm gonna share with you a little hometown tour of one of my very favorite places when I was growing up here in Nashville, and still is one of my favorite places in Nashville, which is Green Hills. Now this isn't an area that's gonna say Green Hills, Tennessee. There actually is a Green Hill, Tennessee, and that can cause some confusion. But this is an area that is Green Hills, that is in Nashville, Tennessee, and I think you need to know about it. If you want to be downtown by only about 15 minutes from the place you live, but if you want to be in tree-lined streets, some of the larger estate homes that were built in the 40s and 50s, some ranch homes, new construction, townhomes or condos, there's so many choices, but if you crave those tree-lined streets, you could find it here. If you're looking for some of the best public schools that Nashville offers and some of the very private schools that you all have known about, then this too is your spot. If you're looking for super high-end shopping, and this is the Nordstroms, the Whole Foods, the Trader Joe's that so many people from the West really crave, then this is one of the few areas that has all of that. But very high-end shopping is right here as well. But I gotta warn you, Green Hills is not for everybody. Today I'm going to share with you what it's really like living here. The good, the bad, the ugly, the maybe for you, maybe not for you. It's all right here for you. Let's take a look. Green Hills is nestled just about 15 to 20 minutes south of downtown Nashville, depending on where you happen to live and where you hit. By the way, Hillsborough Road is called Hillsborough Pike by most maps, but not by Nashvillians. You're tucked between Belmead and 12th South, a few minutes from Vanderbilt and Lipscomb universities. Honestly, it does feel like a world away from the downtown buzz, that's for sure. The vibe here is peaceful and upscale. Lots of mature trees, winding roads, and a ton of pride of ownership. I have a client newly retired here who moved from Chicago, and he couldn't believe it. He said, I thought I was moving to a green suburb far away from everything, but it's only 2-3 minutes away from Whole Foods. That's something he can get used to. Green Hills started out in the early 1900s as farmland. People were escaping the growing city of Nashville. It was quite a distance at the time. After World War II, the area really took off with the big brick ranch homes and family neighborhoods. Fast forward to today, it's a blend of old school Southern charm, brand new luxury builds. It's also home to some pretty legendary spots, the most famous being that Bluebird Cafe that I was standing next to earlier. You've got little old Nashville. These were all here in the 70s, combined with the new, the high rises. Beautiful views in the penthouse, restaurants. But Nashville is working hard to blend some of the old with the new and not lose that charm. Bluebird Cafe is still thriving today, but you may know it from the Nashville TV show. It's where my friend Amy Grant got started. Garth Brooks got discovered there. You've probably heard of Taylor Swift. Still today, you can walk in on a random Monday night and hear the next big thing. But if you're coming to Nashville, be sure to get reservations, because that little 90-seat locale fills up quickly and people are standing outside the doors. There are 2 shows a day, I believe, and they fill up quickly a week in advance. Grab your tickets. You will love it. Let's talk about the homes, because this is where Green Hills really shines. And it's quite different from most other communities that you're going to find here. Green Hills, you're going to find both the classic ranch homes, built 1950s, 1960s styles, completely updated for the most part on 1/3 to half-acre lots. Now, that's when Green Hills was developed, and that would have been what you would have found up until the 80s. Then people started doing teardowns of those classic ranch homes and are building new luxury homes with all the bells and whistles. It's got the chef's kitchens, outdoor living rooms, outdoor fireplaces, golf simulators, swimming pools, you name it. There are some gated townhome communities and upscale condominiums, as well as some rental property that might have been apartments in the 60s and 70s. Not many of those are still here. Now, when you talk about the homes here, you're going to find older homes starting around $900,000, and that's for something that needs updates. What we're having is, if it's got a beautiful yard and great mature trees in a super location, older homes without a lot of great bones or a lot of renovations are being torn down even up to $1 million in price point, and a new luxury home is being built there. Those luxury new builds begin at 1.5 if you're lucky, and can exceed all the way up to $6-7 million, depending on, again, how much land goes with that property. Condos and townhomes begin around $500,000 and go way up as far as that goes, because as you can see, we have some luxury high-rise buildings now with swimming pools on the rooftop decks, all the amenities you could possibly want. I had a young family who recently bought a home here, and they were so excited. They came from San Francisco. They were so excited to be able to find a newer luxury home right here, very close to her favorite Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's, all the things that she really loved. She was excited about the Nordstrom without having to go all the way downtown San Francisco to get it. Loved all the conveniences of Green Hills, and they could keep their kids in the public schools because there are really good public schools here that are zoned for this. As always, check out greatschools.org. That's not me talking. That was my customers. The fact that she could have all the amenities that she wanted, the children in a great public school, and have the safety and security of an older neighborhood, she loved it. They were thrilled. Many from out of town are thrilled with what they can find here in Green Hills. Exactly who lives in Green Hills? Well, you've got a great mix. First of all, young professionals. Professionals, maybe they're residents at some of the mini hospitals. They are doctors at the mini hospitals. They're young professionals who work downtown, and they are probably living in the condos. By the time they get more into their careers, they're probably in some of the homes. Once they start having families, they may be in a smaller home in Green Hills that their budget allowed, but then they add on or renovate, because here's what happens. Nobody wants to leave here. Once you own a home in the Green Hills area, and there are several different areas of Nashville that are like that, you don't want to leave. You know the neighborhood. You know all the great things to do. You don't want to leave. You just want to find a better house or maybe a better situation for you. So you've got the young professionals, you've got doctors, you've got entrepreneurs. You also have families who want to put their children in the best schools possible as far as public schools go. Check out greatschools.org. That's not me talking, but there are super good public schools here that Green Hills is zoned for. Also, really some of the best private schools that Nashville is known for are also very close, so it's an easy drive. Who else is here? Downsizers. Families who have been here. I've been in this area since the early 60s with my family. Families who've lived here for a long time are totally shocked with how amazing it is right now because it's just grown so much. But we don't want to leave our neighborhood. It may be empty nesters or downsizers who have found a home that's smaller, better fits their needs, but people truly don't want to leave here. That's one of the reasons you're also finding very few homes for sale, because they don't want to leave. They're just closing up maybe some rooms or some bedrooms or a second story that they no longer need and staying put because they don't want to leave the neighborhoods. Oh, and fourth, I can't forget this, celebrities. Celebrities know that Nashville leaves them alone. Nashville is very kind to celebrities. We have a lot of them. You may well end up having across the hot bar at Whole Foods, you may be eye to eye with Taylor Swift, or who knows. But you're going to see celebrities, possibly. You may not recognize them because they're just normal celebrities in the wild. But celebrities love to be here because they love the fact that Nashville leaves them alone. I had a client who just told me they've moved here about a year ago, and I called up to say, how's it going? How are you loving your home? Any questions? And she said, you know, here's the day in my life. Get up, take my children to school, tour at one school, tour at a different one. So drive the hookup. We call it hookups here, and that's not a dirty thing. That's carpool. Depends on where you're from. Here we call it a hookup. Anyway, take the kids to school, then go over to her workout facility. You've got so many different choices, any choice you can possibly think of. Then have a quick lunch with her friends, same clothes, same outfit. Grab a pair of jeans, have dinner with the family. One of the many, many places that people can go. We're casual. We're not a tons of makeup, big hairdo kind of place. And I hear a lot of places are like that. That's not Nashville. We are low key and pretty much anything goes. But please, keep your shirt on, put your shoes on, take your hats off if you're a man inside. That's just Southern politeness. Hey, do you mind if I stop for a little commercial? If you're enjoying these videos, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the show. Every single week I take you to a new place in the Nashville area. As a Nashvillian hometowner, I know that every place is not for everybody. That includes Green Hills. But I'm here to share with you all you might need to know about moving to the area and do what so many have done. Call me. text. Let's talk about your specific needs. Now, let's get into it. Green Hills is one of the few spots inside of the city where you can find highly rated public options in public schools. The top schools include those that children who live here in Green Hills would be zoned for is Julia Green Elementary, Percy Priest Elementary, and Hillsborough High School. They have a great IB program at Hillsborough High. Plus, some of the nation's best private schools are right here as well. The Lipscomb Academy, grades K through 12, which is a Christian school, is located in Green Hills. The Harpeth Hall School, which is all girls, highly regarded college prep 5th through 12th grade, is also in Green Hills, right off of Estes. Now, Montgomery Bell Academy, which is an all-boys school, highly acclaimed as well, is just barely outside of this Green Hills area. And of course, Lipscomb University is practically in the backyard, right here in Green Hills. And because the schools are so highly regarded, that's one of the many reasons that property values remain so high in Green Hills, and they continue to. Between those really good public schools and those super private schools that many people move to Nashville simply to be a part of those schools, those are holding those values up. It's a very good asset if you can get here. Okay, let's get into lifestyle and things to do. And I happen to be here at one of my very favorite places. As you know, I grew up right outside of Green Hills, right here near the Percy Warner, Edwin Warner Parks. And this is the Steeplechase Grounds, where you may have heard one of the biggest events of the South is about to happen in this coming 2 weeks, which is the Steeplechase. I'm here at the Steeplechase Grounds. I spent my life here riding my horses here and doing eventing and all kinds of great things. So Green Hills is a good 5-minute, 10-minute drive max from the Steeplechase Grounds. My high school used to run cross country up here at the race course. We would ride our horses over here for horse shows. So many great memories right here at these barns that I had to show it to you. It's not in Green Hills, it's technically just Nashville, but it's very, very close by. But what are some of the other things if you don't happen to have a horse or you don't want to run cross country? First of all, if you are a shopper, you've got anything you could choose. You can go to the huge mall at Green Hills where you're going to find a Nordstrom, Louis Vuitton, Apple. Also, they're coming with a new Manolo Blahnik. We also have smaller boutique shopping over on the Hill Center and also on Bedford Place. You'll find Pottery Barn, the Whole Foods right in here, Trader Joe's very close by, all here in Green Hills. And a local favorite is called the Produce Place, plus Kroger. You can walk or jog at Radnor Lake, which is a really pristine, beautiful lake, or come on over here to the Steeplechase, where you can walk, you can hike over in Percy Warner, Edwin Warner Parks, thousands of acres of property just to get outside in the great outdoors, which are minutes from home. You have all choices of dining at the Green Hills Grill, Santos, Char, or pop over to 12th South for more casual eats. One of my favorite places, or two of my favorite places, are the Greenhouse, right there on Bandywood in Green Hills, and Cole's Kitchen, that's also in Bandywood, or Etch on Bedford Place. Another recent transplant to Green Hills said that her Saturday looked like going to one of the farmers markets over at Sevier Park, having lunch after a good workout, of course, we know you gotta have that, over at Santos or Char. She can go pop over to 12th South for more casual dining. Lots of options, all that within a 3-minute drive. That's the Green Hills lifestyle. Okay, so let's now talk about the pros and the cons. No place is perfect. As you can tell, I'm having extreme allergies. The month of May is probably my favorite month of the year. April, May, June, favorite month of the year. When all the trees have bloomed, the grass is growing, people are mowing the grass, and I'm highly allergic. That's a con. However, the pros really outweigh it for me. So let's look at some of the other pros. 10, 20 minutes from downtown. Of course, it depends on where you live. Wherever you live, I can share with you routes to not get you on Hillsborough Road or some of the more congested areas. There are workarounds once we find the right house for you. Top public schools and some of the state's most highly acclaimed private schools are within the Green Hills 3-4 minute drive from Green Hills kind of area. Mature landscaping, older homes, beautiful trees. It just feels very different when you're on a little bit larger lots and have all that maturity. Just feels different than a lot of new construction because there's no dirt left for that new construction unless you get some of the tall skinnies. That's a whole nother conversation. These are basically going to be the larger lots, larger homes, and comes with a larger price tag. Upscale dining, groceries, shopping, all the boutique shopping you could possibly think of. Every one of your needs, including the top hospitals, all outpatients, dental, everything you possibly need in that Green Hills area. There's many people who have no earthly idea where Franklin, Cool Springs, Mount Juliet, Hendersonville even are, because they have no reason to leave the Green Hills area. Now, I will tell you, that's the pro of a lot of our areas and suburbs. You have everything you need within that one area. You do not need to travel outside of there for your day-to-day kind of need. I think that's a real pro for everywhere. And of course, it's a safe, secure area. There are very few surprises. Now, obviously, you have to keep your eyes out and watch, because where there is wealth, there's also people who come to grab some of that wealth. So obviously, you have to keep your eyes and ears open, but you know, it's a safe, secure area. So what are the cons? There are some. Traffic, always number one. Hillsborough Road from Hobbs Road all the way up to 440. Interstate 440, which you can jump on to go either out 40 east or west, or straight into town. But that area tends to be the most highly congested. Again, there are workarounds. I can share those with you. But that traffic, probably the number one con. Number two, it's a high price tag. I mean, it certainly just doesn't fit in everybody's budget. However, if it fits into your budget, I think you're really gonna like the Green Hills area. But truly, obviously, when something's super expensive, that's a con. Green Hills also has an older infrastructure. As I mentioned, Green Hills was developed in the 50s and 60s for the most part, and things have changed a little bit in the last 60, 70 years. The congestion added to it, the infrastructure is just not really ready for it. So sometimes over on Sugar Tree Creek, which of course eventually goes to the Cumberland River, there's been some overflow, there's been some flooding. That too is something that's very easy to work around, as in don't buy your house if it happens to be in that little floodplain area. However, there is that possibility because of the infrastructure. Sometimes some of the roads flood in a flash kind of situation. And another con, I guess it can't be said enough, the busy roads. That goes along with traffic, I know, but it bears saying. There are some main artery roads that do get very heavy traffic, and that's just the way it is. But I can tell you, put in some walkways. The Green Hills is trying to work on making it more walker user-friendly. I'm not there yet, but you know, you can't get everything you want, right? I can share with you how to circumvent some of those really heavily trafficked areas. To go with that, I've actually had a customer decide not to be in Green Hills for that very same reason. They decided the traffic they just couldn't deal with, the home they loved the most, would have been right inside that little area. So they decided to just go a smidge further out to Forest Hills. I don't really think that changed anything for them. It still gives them a 5-minute drive into Green Hills, and they're very happy with their change. So is Green Hills right for you? If you're someone who wants beautiful homes, mature neighborhood, great schools, Green Hills might be your spot. But if you're allergic to traffic, if you really want new construction with some of those master plan communities with swimming pools, tennis courts, pickleball, all the things that many people do want, then Green Hills is probably not the best fit for you. Either way, I'd love to help you map out your perfect fit. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and who knows where I'm going next, and who knows how many takes it's going to take to get this thing right. I'm a realtor, far better realtor than filmer, that's for sure.